Hey everybody, what's up? This is a response video to Silver Scream Girl, to her video called Accountability. I've I've been away from YouTube, since Wednesday. I've had a really busy weekend, lots going on, and I came back. I've watched like 3 videos all weekend, um, and actually all 3 that I watched, I wanted to make responses to, but I'm gonna do this one for Beth just because. It's kind of fresh in my mind and kind of something that's been a big deal to me. Her video was on accountability, just about weight loss issues. I know I said I wasn't going to post this every day, and I'm not, but it's something that seems like a lot of people are thinking about. And one of the things she did, she took a picture of every piece of food she put in her pie hole, as she called it. And Beth, we have an argument with a coworker of mine. Is it pie hole or cake hole? I thought it was cake hole, but I like cake. Anyway, but Beth took pictures of all the food she's put in her mouth, like in one day or something, and you look at it, and you become very accountable, and it's embarrassing when you see what you've eaten. I haven't done that. I haven't had to go that far yet. We have a weigh-in every Monday morning. Now, Mondays to me seem like, the worst day to weigh in after a busy weekend. I had a lot of social stuff going on this weekend. I ate out 2 or 3 times. So suddenly you're eating out and you have to make these choices. But what it's done for me, our Monday morning weigh-in has forced me to be accountable with every choice I make. I also have one of my YouTube friends on here. This person and I shared our weight. We share weekly updates as to what we ate, our rough patches, our freak out moments, our happy times, all relating to weight. I know for some people it's very hard to share those numbers. I put mine on my channel page, again, as a way to force myself to be accountable for my losses or wins. Now, in this case, I'm proud to say I got on the scale today. I lost 5 pounds last week. Now, I'm not sure how I lost all that weight because I ate out a couple times and I saw a couple movies this weekend, and I treated myself at both movies. And this was actually the first soda I've had since January 7th. I was drinking close to 6 cans a day. Now, it was diet, but it was still soda. I pretty much drink only water or like Crystal Light now. But so I was kind of freaking out because I did a lot of kind of activities I considered bad this weekend. But I knew that going into it, so I really cranked up my workout activities. I kind of really gauged the rest of my week, planning for the weekend, and I held myself accountable for it. I was very nervous this morning and actually quite surprised that I was just as successful as I was. Now, I know the weeks aren't always going to be that easy. I've got my trip to Florida. Next week we leave, and I'm a little concerned about that. The second I'm not in my controlled environment, the whole ball game changes. But we still have to be accountable for ourselves, and we still have to do these weigh-ins. Like I said, I have the one YouTuber that I share all my information with, and I know that's very hard for some people to share their weight or their body fat. I mean, it was very hard for me to do, and I just decided to do it because it was something I was so ashamed of that in my mind, it's kind of the equivalent of seeing those pictures. I have that on my channel page now, and it's something for me to deal with and contend with and be accountable for. I email my sister every Monday, or she emails me to see how I did. Again, it forces me to be accountable. Now, I'm not going as far as writing everything down I eat. I have a pretty good idea. I mean, I know exactly what I'm eating. I don't buy a lot of stuff other than a weekly basis right now. I know one guy I work with who's doing alright. He puts on a website everything that goes in his mouth and every calorie he burns for exercises. It's his way of being accountable for it. And that's what you have to do. So I'm not trying to give advice like I've succeeded, because I'm just going through this just like anybody else. I've had some moderate success on this right now, but I think it's going to get harder each week as my body curves off. Right now I've quit a lot of bad habits. I've had french fries like twice. those are gone. Soda, I've had beer, like one beer since I did this, a lot of things. But yet I've learned too, you can be accountable for yourself, but you can still treat yourself. That soda I had at the movie, it tasted so good. It used to be something I drank like water, and now it just tasted just incredible to me. So I'm learning, you can have the occasional piece of candy, you can have the occasional snack or dessert or whatever, but it has to be in moderation, and you have to be accountable for it. So Beth, not sure, just kind of wanted to add to what you said about accountability. I think we're all going through it in one way or another. And I think some other things, other behavioral things I want to do and I want to change, I need to make myself more accountable for it too. So I'm glad you shared that with us. I'm glad you shared what was, that's hard to admit. It's hard to show. And sometimes you just have to see it and you go, wow, I just had to get on that scale. I'm the type of guy, I used to weigh myself every day. And when I stopped weighing myself, suddenly, boom, 30, 40 pounds heavier. So we first of all have to be accountable for ourselves. But what I would suggest, if I can give you any advice, is make yourself accountable to somebody else, to a friend, a confidant, your family member, your dietitian, whatever. Get a support system. When you have that freak out moment, realize you're not alone. Realize there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's something we all deal with in one way or another. I know people that are too skinny and they can't gain weight, and I can't imagine having that problem. But it's nice for what I'm going through. This competition at work, it's the money, that's also secondary. The main thing is we're all actually there for each other, and I actually look forward to those weigh-ins. So thanks for making that video, Beth. It's just another way. I never thought of that, about taking pictures of what I put in my mouth every time I eat. Luckily, I'm regulating that really good right now, and what I'm doing, the exercising, is my main thing. Burning a lot of calories, and that's what's making me the most accountable too, just facing those guys at the gym that I see every day now. So anyway, thanks for listening. This is not going to be a health channel, I promise you that, but I felt it's necessary. It's January, it's a month into this new year now, and now is when we all fall off that wagon. So anybody who's going through this, be strong. Just remember, you're all human. If you fail today, tomorrow is a new day. If you have a rough week, tomorrow's, start over the next week. But the excuses also have to stop. I had the excuse, I've got this food here. Once I'm done eating the food, I'll start my diet. No, throw it away. Start right now. The excuses have to stop. It's that simple. And once you realize that, once you get your body into really being, in your mind, into that, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my behavior. It's not just dieting. It's changing your behavior. And at least that's how I'm looking at it right now. So I'd love to see, this video here, me making this, is forcing myself to be accountable 6 months down the road for this. So I'm going to keep this video up. I'd love to hear your guys' story. Beth, thanks for making the video. Thanks for inspiring me to add to the dialogue. And if you need any help or any inspiration, feel free to let me know. You're not in this alone. Trust me. We're all struggling here in one way or another with addiction, cigarettes, caffeine, God knows what else. So that's all for now. Thanks for listening, and I wish all you guys luck in your endeavors and your resolutions and all that. So talk to you guys later. Bye.